For decades, the alpha wolf has been the go-to mascot for motivational speakers and leadership seminars. It's an image of a brutal, solitary leader who maintains order through sheer physical dominance. This is the gray wolf, the ancestor of every domestic dog. Weighing between 65 and 180 pounds, they inhabit a massive geographical range across the northern United States, from the Alaskan wilderness to the forests of Idaho. The specific idea of an alpha wolf fighting for the top spot originated in 1970 when scientist David Mech published a book based on early observations of wolf behavior. Later in his career, after studying wolves in their natural habitats, Mech discovered his initial conclusions were wrong. He spent the following years trying to convince publishers to stop printing the book that made him famous. One of the most pervasive ideas in popular psychology was built on a scientific mistake that the author himself tried to erase. The 1970 theory relied on studies of unrelated wolves held in captivity. When you force strangers into a small, artificial enclosure, they develop a hierarchy of aggression as a response to the stress of their environment. In the wild, a wolf pack is a family unit. It consists of a breeding pair and their biological offspring from the last few years. The hierarchy is simply the natural relationship between parents and their children. In the wild, leadership is a function of parenthood, defined by the protection and education of the litter. Communication is what keeps these families distinct. Each wolf's howl is as unique as a human fingerprint, allowing individuals to recognize each other from 6 miles away while marking the edges of their family territory. While the pack provides safety, survival sometimes requires an individual to strike out alone. In 2011, a wolf known as OR7 left his Oregon pack to find a territory of his own. Without a map or a guide, OR7 traveled over 1,000 miles. He navigated from the high country of Oregon into the northern forests of California. When he crossed that state line, he became the first wild wolf seen in California in 9 decades. The drive to expand is as vital as the drive to stay together. For the species to thrive, individuals must eventually leave the family to establish new bloodlines. To see what happens when a pack is cut off from these new bloodlines, we have to look at Isle Royale. This isolated island in Lake Superior has been the site of a continuous predator-prey study since 1958. Wolves originally reached the island across a winter ice bridge. As the climate warmed and that bridge stopped forming regularly, the population became genetically trapped. This chart shows the result of that isolation. The population once peaked at 50, but as the effects of inbreeding set in, the numbers plummeted. By 2018, only 2 wolves were left. These final survivors were a father and daughter who were also half-siblings. The genetic damage was so severe, the population could no longer replicate itself. To prevent a total extinction on the island, the U.S. National Park Service relocated 19 new wolves from the mainland. Today, thanks to that injection of new blood, the population has recovered to 30. The Isle Royale study proves a pack cannot sustain itself on loyalty alone. It requires the constant introduction of genetic diversity to survive. The greatest threat to these family lines has historically been human intervention. Government-backed campaigns once systematically hunted wolves until they were nearly erased from the North American map. Even today, the wolf's legal status is in constant flux. They are frequently moved between the endangered species list and state-managed hunting seasons, making their survival dependent on a shifting legal landscape. It is a strange irony that the animal which provides our most profound examples of family loyalty now finds its future decided in human courtrooms. The strength of a wolf pack is found in its continuity, the ability to keep the family unified and healthy across generations.